The Daytona 500 isn't just any race, it's the Super Bowl of stock car racing. A single event packed with heart-stopping moments, legendary drivers, and insane history. Today, we're counting down 10 crazy facts about the Daytona 500 that will blow your mind. 1. The first Daytona 500 finish was too close to call. Imagine winning the biggest race in stock car history, but no one knows who actually won. That's exactly what happened at the very first Daytona 500 in 1959. The finish was so close between Johnny Beauchamp and Lee Petty that officials declared Beauchamp the winner. But there was a problem. There was no modern-day instant replay. It took NASCAR 3 whole days of reviewing photographs and footage before they overturned the decision and named Lee Petty the actual winner. Talk about suspense. 2. The track was inspired by a beach. Before the Daytona 500, NASCAR's biggest races actually took place on the hard-packed sands of Daytona Beach. But racing on sand came with some wild challenges. Waves, uneven surfaces, and even crabs getting in the way. That's when NASCAR founder Bill France Sr. decided to build a massive, high-bank track that could replicate the speed and thrill of beach racing, but without the sand getting in everyone's face. 3. The fastest Daytona 500 ever was in 1980. Buddy Baker dominated the race at an average speed of 177.6 miles per hour. That's faster than a commercial airplane during takeoff. The crazy part? With today's restrictor plate rules, that record may never be broken. 4. A president once kicked off the race. The Daytona 500 is so iconic that even U.S. presidents have taken part in the action. In 2020, President Donald Trump became the first sitting president to serve as the race's Grand Marshal, given the legendary command, "Gentlemen, start your engines." He even took a lap around the track in the Beast, the armored presidential limo. NASCAR and politics, who would have thought? 5. The infamous 1979 Daytona 500 fistfight. The 1979 Daytona 500 wasn't just a race. It was a full-on Hollywood action scene. On the final lap, Donnie Allison and Cale Yarborough were battling for the win when they crashed into each other and spun out. But instead of cooling down, they decided to settle things right there, with their fists. Cameras caught them throwing punches in the infield, and suddenly NASCAR was all over national TV. This moment is often credited with bringing stock car racing into the mainstream. 6. Dale Earnhardt took 20 tries to finally win. Dale Earnhardt, the Intimidator, was one of the greatest drivers in NASCAR history. But for years, the Daytona 500 was his Achilles heel. He tried to win it 19 times, but bad luck always struck. Flat tires, crashes, freak accidents. Then, in 1998, on his 20th attempt, he finally crossed the finish line first. And in a moment that still gives fans chills, every crew member lined up on pit road to shake his hand as he drove by. It was one of the most emotional victories in NASCAR history. 7. A jet dryer exploded on the track in 2012. In 2012, the Daytona 500 took a turn for the bizarre when Juan Pablo Montoya crashed, not into another car, but into a jet dryer. This vehicle was carrying jet fuel, and when Montoya hit it, the whole thing erupted into a massive fireball. Miraculously, no one was seriously injured, but the race had to be stopped for over 2 hours while crews put out the flames and repaved part of the track. If you ever need proof that anything can happen at Daytona, this is it. 8. The youngest winner in Daytona 500 history. In 2011, Trevor Bayne shocked the NASCAR world by becoming the youngest driver ever to win the Daytona 500 at just 20 years and 1 day old. It was only his second career Cup Series start, making his victory one of the biggest upsets in the race's history. Driving for the underdog Wood Brothers racing team, Bayne managed to navigate the chaotic final lap and hold off veteran drivers to take the checkered flag. 9. The biggest crash in Daytona history had 37 cars. Daytona is known for its big crashes, but the worst big one in history happened in 1960, when 37 cars wrecked in a single pileup. That's almost the entire field. The crazy part? Not a single driver was seriously hurt. Modern NASCAR fans might think of the 2012 and 2015 multi-car wrecks, but the 1960 disaster was the granddaddy of them all. 10. The Daytona 500 pays more than $2 million to the winner. Winning the Daytona 500 isn't just about glory, it's about getting paid. The winner of the race takes home over $2 million. That's more than most NASCAR drivers make in an entire season. And with sponsorships, bonuses, and endorsements, that payday gets even bigger. No wonder drivers put everything on the line for this race. Which fact surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you love crazy facts, hit that like button and subscribe for more wild stories.